Good afternoon. I'm here, Magic Maddie Mirthwaite. I'm here with the lovely Sheena Cantar this afternoon. I have asked her a very big favor. I would love her to come and tell you what the benefits of working with me as a spiritual medium, spiritual coach, spiritual, whatever you want to call me, and how I transform people's lives and what Sheena's experience has been with me so far. How are you, Sheena?
I'm doing great, Maddie. How are you?
Very excited for all these new projects that are coming my way, working with spirit. So excited and very, very blessed. And it's nice that I'm able to touch other people's lives by doing it. So, what in goodness name did you see within me to be drawn to me? Because I just reached out to you, didn't know you, to ask you to come on my new radio show, Lunchtime Love and Live. And you did a private walk with Spirit Talk, first of all, and we chatted about stuff because I knew you were linked to Bob Proctor, someone that I've admired for years. But then all of a sudden, lo and behold, you're on my radio show. And then before I knew it, you turned up at my spiritualist church because you wanted to see me in person doing my thing. How did that come about?
Well, that's so wonderful, Maddie. I mean, you have just such an electric personality. That's the thing. It's just like we had such a good time just on the, on the radio show, and how you speak as well is just so, you're authentic, aren't you? And it's whenever somebody's authentic, that's how you want to be around. And so you've got that energy around you. That when you said, well, I'm doing this, this, and this, and I thought, well, I can get to the world. And it was a horrible night, wasn't it? It was absolutely pouring out the heavens. I couldn't find, I was messaging you going, well, I said I would go, so I'm going. And I didn't know what it was. It called me there. I really don't know. I was just literally, I was called to come and watch you. And so whenever I was watching you at work, and the people that were there, it was an absolutely packed out room. And then I was just amazed. I think I just sat and watched you in awe, Maddie, really, to be honest, and just the effect that you were having on everybody else in the room. And I noticed that there were people beside me who were doing some work with you, who were bringing them on spiritually in their work. And what was funny was, I say she picked on me. So the girl who I sat beside, literally came in. I think I came in a little bit late. And then she just went, I'm getting messages from you. So she started then, and you were encouraging her. And it didn't matter that she thought she was making a mistake. You were able to then you were just supporting her. And the confidence that she had to stand up and be that in front of the room. You see, that would have scared the heebie-jeebies out of me, to be able to oh my goodness, you want me to actually say it out loud now? But that just shows really the confidence that she had, that you helped her with, because she felt okay to oh, is this right? Is this right? She didn't ask. She was just passing some information on to me, and I was able to agree with her, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. So yeah, that was my second time being around you.
From a spiritual perspective, do you think if you're coaching somebody, for argument's sake, especially in this day and age, I don't believe that what I do is conventional, and I feel people have a stereotypical idea of coaching. And when I say I'm a spiritual coach, they think I'm a bit wacky. Do you feel that it brings an extra string to your bow because I work with people on a spiritual level?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. I mean, we are mind, body, and spirit. And if we do not get a balance of all three, then you're out of balance. You cannot just work on the mind, because then you're leaving spirit and body out. You can't just work on the body, because, well, you are a spirit in a body. I mean, everybody just has to get over that, don't they? I mean, if I jumped out of my body's just going to fall on the floor. So there's something else going on there. So you've got to have all three for a balanced life, a peaceful life. You've got to work on all three. You can't ignore one. So absolutely. I mean, your work is so much different from mine. So when I'm working, and I will involve body, mind, spirit, but then the level that you go to is completely different. I mean, that's way out of my league. I know that it's possible for me, but you're on such a different level with that, to be able to have your intuition is just incredible. And so that's something that I would say, working towards myself, whether I ever reach Maddie's levels. But you do it as well, Maddie, in such a friendly way and in not a wacky way, because you do it in a funny, jokey way and serious at the same time. So that's what's good, because you bring it back to oh, here you go, here's this and here's that, but then you will make a joke of something as well. And so it brings the lightness of the energy to it.
Lovely. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So on a personal level then, there has been times where I've just woken up and thought, I've got to connect with Sheena for some reason. And very recently, your mum has passed to the spirit realms, and there was a little journey before that when I sort of connected with you. are you feeling comfortable enough to share your experience with me on that journey with
Absolutely.
to date and up to date where we are?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think it's the work that it's the interaction with you that made it all even better. And so on the day that, we knew that basically, mummy was passing and this was it. There was no turning around from this. And I'd literally just had that news, but I was trying to figure out how to get over, and with the flights and stuff like that, I didn't think I'd get over till the Friday, although I'd been there the following Friday. But now we knew that this was it. And so I was frantically trying to get flights, and you asked me something, you just popped up as a message, and I said, I can't deal with that now because my mum's passing on. And I wouldn't have said that to anybody else except to yourself, obviously. And so you just said, so you asked me some questions, and I said, well, she just seems to be hanging in there. I'm going to get over on Friday, and that would be the time. And you said, you've got to say goodbye. You've got to give her permission. And I thought, oh, wow, I thought I already had, but actually I hadn't. So I understand about energy and that there's no space between any of us. So basically I sat in prayer and closed my eyes as if I was right beside her, and I held her hand, and I basically said to her it was okay, that she had my permission to go. She didn't have to wait till Friday, that she could go then. And a couple of hours later, yes, I got the word then that she'd passed on. And it was just like, thank you, Maddie, for releasing everybody, including my mum, not just my aunties, but me as well. And I just had an absolute shiver then that went right through me then. And so that one was just amazing. But then it was, and I've just had a complete mind blank. So ask me another question, Maddie.
When you're getting through that, when your mom had passed and you reached out to me to let me know, a really strange thing happened within the next few days, because I was really compelled. I kept hearing, get in touch with Sheena, but I was very aware of you in grief and processing stuff, and you taking yourself away on a little holiday. But I still felt this need to come and connect with you. And I said, have we got time to have a chat at some point? And you said, sure, today at 1 o'clock. And I couldn't do 1 o'clock, but I had your mom sat beside me in spirit. And I did not want to give that away, because if you weren't ready to chat with her, then I would not chat. But it was being pressed upon me, and that's why I reached out to you. What was it like when I finally got to chat with you at 4 o'clock that afternoon? And lo and behold, you thought we just had a chat. And I go, oh, and by the way.
That's what was so funny. It was just like, oh, I've had a little visitor. And it never even dawned on me that that's what you were going to be saying at all. I mean, it just didn't even, I don't know why. Why would it not cross my mind? But anyway, it hadn't. So literally, you said that I've had a visitor. And what was great, it's like there were 3 different parts of the of the call. The first bit was like actually almost the confirmation that it was mummy, because there was certain material that you were giving me that you just couldn't have known. But then there was other things that had happened that actually were messages that I needed to hear, and only I would have known what those messages were. They were very clear. So one of the first one was that, I'd said that my mum had never said that I was, that she was proud of me, never ever said it. And so because of all the work that I'd been doing, about a month before that, I'd actually had done something, and I went, oh my God, I'm so proud of you, Sheena. And then it was a light bulb. Oh, I didn't need to hear my mum say it. I needed to say it to me. But then what was the thing that Maddie turns around and says to me on the call? And that morning I'd been with clients and I'd actually told that story. That's what you said to me. You said, oh, and your mum wants you to know that she's very proud of you. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow. Then the next one is that, my legacy that I want to leave behind is that I broke the pattern of living in lack. And I want to have, and lack, and I mean, that doesn't mean just monetary terms. That means in love. That means in all riches in life, whatever it is. And that I was determined to break the pattern. And that's what I'd say to my clients all the time. And that's what came back from you, was about that mummy didn't know how to give love. And I knew that, but there was no forgiveness needing to be done. She didn't know. I knew she didn't know how to get love out of that body. And but that's what you said. That was the message that came back and said, break the pattern, Sheena. And I was just like, I am, mummy, thank you. And so not only did I feel like I hadn't lost a mummy, I actually feel that I gained a mummy, and somebody who was willing to go with me on my journey as I go through everything that I'm doing, because it really is about changing everybody's lives going forward. And then the third part of the call was like, to me at the time, were random bits.
Yeah, she started giving me stuff that you couldn't take at that time.
Yeah.
I was giving you evidence. You were like, no, it doesn't make, no, not really, not sure, not sure.
But I wrote it all down because
Yeah.
I just went, well, I'll write it all down because right now it's not hitting anything at all. And then it was like, I think it was only about, it could have only been like a day later, but it was so flipping fast. I'm watching a program on Gaia.com and I'm sitting there. So there were different things. One was a triangle, one was purple, and the other one was Terry Wogan. There are other things as well that we said. So I mean, just picking out this one thing because I'm watching this program and I'm like, oh, go figure. The color's like lilac. Oh, and the symbol's a triangle. Oh God, I must be wanting to watch this. So, and you said about the triangle was something about wanting to go deeper. And in my thoughts, I was like going, oh, I want to investigate this more. This is before I realized the lilac and the triangle. I just had that feeling I want to go and investigate this more. I want to go deeper in here because you said that about the triangle. You said, I feel like I want to go in or something, get in there. That was my feeling about the program. So I went right back to the series, episode 1. And lo and behold, in the episode 1, David Icke is the name he was on the Gaia.com and he mentioned Terry Wogan. Yeah. And that was a name that you'd mentioned as well. And I just went, oh, Mummy's been asking me basically to watch this. And this is as if somebody's gone to the other side and was telling you what it was like. I had to watch the TV program, 13 episodes of, I can't even remember what you call it, but it was David Icke anyway on Gaia.com. And I watched that and I was just like, oh, I get it. If ever you wanted to hear something about what there was like, here it was in a program. And so, yes, it was just, but that was literally, I'm sure 24, 48 hours. It was so fast that I picked up on something, but I was in the middle of it before I'd connected the dots.
Yes.
Which was incredible. Yeah. So you'd led me on to learnings. That's what it was the clarity and the peace knowing that Mummy's okay and that she's guiding me through my journey through life now. When I didn't feel like I had a mum before, I now feel I actually have a mum now. So like, isn't that priceless? Like, isn't that priceless? Like, you can't pay for that.
That's it. And it's something that I think all of us would want, but we'd all be frightened to ask for it because we wouldn't believe it would actually happen.
Yeah.
But it's open to all of us in lots of different ways. No matter how small, it's there, but it's whether we're prepared to trust it.
And the thing was, Maddie, I didn't ask you to call me. I didn't ask you to speak to Mummy. I didn't ask you for anything. You just literally reached out and went, I've had a visitor. And then you're telling me all these things and I'm just like going, oh my goodness. Like, oh my goodness. Especially the I'm proud of you bit and the breaking the pattern. You know, those are the two messages that, were
the wise words of spirit that come through me. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that I've been able to channel and change this into a coaching program. So I'm able to bring all these gifts and these tools to share with other people and to bring them into alignment with where they're meant to be on their soul's journey. Sheena, what would you say is some of the benefits then if someone was thinking about or sitting on the fence thinking about, oh, Maddie's come into my life, I'm attracted to her, but I'm having sort of doubts because maybe my old limiting beliefs or anything that's coming up that is stopping me from moving forward. What would you say to somebody to actually say, no, you need to invest in yourself, and this lady just didn't come into your life by chance. This is synchronized.
Yeah, I mean, I love what Einstein says is that coincidences are God's way of remaining anonymous. And so if Maddie has come into your life, she's come in for a reason. Your spirit has led you to Maddie, and that she has been drawn to you or you're being drawn to her for whatever reason. Go forward with it because you don't know what you don't know. I mean, have that initial conversation and then you will make up your mind when you feel Maddie, because you will feel in your heart, yes, go forward, but your logical mind might pop in and go, oh no, don't be silly. Well, let me tell you, it's your logical mind that's the silly one. Get it out. Go with what your heart is telling you. It has called you to Maddie. Just go forward and have the conversation, and then you will know. I promise you, you will know, because she will give you some information that, well, you just can't get away from. You just can't get away from it. And if you do, well, you'll just be frustrated. So you may as well just go on the journey, and then at least you know, and you'll have the answers. So certainly for me, that's brought you brought a lot of peace to me. And so that I understand, and I'm able to now, just yeah, you brought a lot of peace, and so there's a clarity and just that peace on my mum's passing, and it's made a difference in my life. So yeah, your heart has called you to speak to Maddie. Speak to her.
Sheena, I really appreciate you giving your time today, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Please look after you and know that I'm always here for you. And I look forward to connecting with whoever's watching this video very soon. So God bless you all. Thank you very much.